Hi, Kunal.
Hi, Partho.
Welcome back to our conversations on AI and the future possibilities of AI, which brings me directly to my first question. In an earlier conversation, we were talking of quantum physics coming to a point where they will need to integrate consciousness, the nature of consciousness, the reality of consciousness to their study of quantum physics. Now, my question is that if we leave AI to itself and just put this in as a seed question without any other human input, will AI be able to come to a definitive answer sooner or later?
A definitive answer on quantum.
Let's say, the whole equation of consciousness and reality in quantum physics. Will it be able to figure it out? This question comes from another very interesting experiment that you and we spoke of. That if AI were taken to a point in history, 1911,
Yeah.
and just left to itself, would it figure out general relativity? So it's on lines of that question. And you can also talk about that.
So that I think that was one of the thought experiments proposed by the CEO of DeepMind at Google, who said that how would we know that we've got AGI, artificial general intelligence, which is an evolved, more intelligent version of AI, which is the best of human intelligence, mimicking that at some level. And the thought experiment was that feed that AI model data till 1905 and then see if it comes up with general theory of relativity like Einstein did. That was a thought experiment.
Right.
So first of all, I think some nuances here. Number one, the evolved AI model that we essentially, how is an AI model evolving? It's learning from all the human data on internet, your Google searches, your so many other online platforms where essentially somehow collectively 99% of human knowledge is put out, right? So AI is learning from that, and then it has a distilled understanding of the world, and now it responds in a certain way. Two observations. One, nobody knows why and how it responds today because it's no longer a pattern matching process only. It is able to talk about things that has not been explained or learnt in its training data, right? That's a human-alike intelligence. That's why we call it AI now. And AGI will be a much evolved version of it. So number one, this experiment, as a point, this experiment has been publicly stated online. It's on YouTube, it's on some other websites. We've heard it, we're talking about it, many others are. Is there a possibility that whichever AI model we take will be a distilled version of all the internet training data, including this one, where it has been told?
Right.
It has heard it. It has been seeded with this thought, idea, experiment somewhere. Or can we create a new AI model with no previous versions, with no previous internet data which had this seed somewhere? Or we ask another question which has not been put on internet. So that's one nuance we have to keep in mind.
Right.
Because otherwise it can certainly remember it, access it from internally.
The thrust of this whole question, I believe, was can AGI, AI moving to AGI, come to, it was specifically general relativity, just based on the data and without the human consciousness in it?
So there were two parts to it. One is how would we know we got the AGI?
Yeah.
That was the origin of
The
this
original
thought.
experiment. Yes.
That's what initiated this
Right.
thought experiment. How do you define that today it's AGI or not? Okay, some say AGI is here, some say it'll be here in next year, some say it'll be here in 5 years. AGI's definition is not standard. How do you know?
Right.
So that's what triggered this thought experiment and many others like this.
So I'm just taking it a bit beyond that.
Yeah. Yes. Now, uh, so first nuance is that we have to ensure that however the AI model is built, however it is trained, that these kind of thought experiments are not exposed to it beforehand. That's one.
Right.
Second thing is that general relativity itself was a beyond, I would argue, and you can correct me here, it was not just an intelligent observation or discovery. It was a very possibly intuition led beyond intelligence discovery.
Yes, it was certainly intuition. A lot of solid mathematics and a lot of intuition.
Right? Now,
And the right play of intuition and mathematics,
yeah.
which was Einstein's forte.
And I would argue that part of it was also led by Einstein's strong understanding or strong upbringing around philosophy of asking such thought experiments where he started asking, okay, train is moving, rocket is going up, rocket is going down. You know, these things people don't ask. Remember this, we're talking 19th century, there were no rockets. Nobody was going up the space or not. He was just imagining. You only imagine these things because you've really done a lot of thought experiments. So you're so open to possibilities and philosophy and all that, right? So there were lots of things that came together in Einstein with intuition, math, science being at some level, some observations coming where he started. One other thing, I think I read this in some history. Einstein was a clerk in patent's office.
Yes.
And at that time, around late 19th century, early 20th century, lots of patents were being filed around the clock and the time.
Mm-hmm.
That's why he started seeing, experiencing, dreaming about time.
Yes.
That
And
was also an
he
angle.
was still working at the patent office when the
And he was just a
special theory
Yeah.
was hatched.
Yes. So time for him was his, like, he was all day immersed in time and then he was experiencing, dreaming, intuiting things, right? Now, so there was a history, some things happened, good for humanity, great genius, out of the world thinking work. I think it's hard to know whether AI without human intervention would ever come up with this. It may not need to. So, AI works on something called reward function. Reward function is that you do certain thing because it gets you something. So far, AI has not been left alone to a large extent, at least to our knowledge. AI has been constantly interacting with humans or optimizing goals or solving problems all the time because top 10 AI companies today, their AI platforms are broadly through a chatbot exposed through Gemini, ChatGPT, etc., Claude, to billions of humans. Every day they are now busy solving human problems. I'm not sure if they have any free time to dream, think of their own, come up with things, and how they experience things. If they experience things, how they look at the world at all.
So, you're talking about a bandwidth for creativity without human interference.
So far they are completely human interference driven.
Right.
Okay.
The very interesting line of thought.
So one dynamic is that if I'm not asking it anything, and nobody suddenly, let's say tomorrow we say it's Sunday, nobody will ask anything to AI. Suddenly, all the AI servers are sitting idle. All the AI compute, language models, intelligence is sitting idle. Now, would it think anything at all?
Now, that is a very interesting point because now what I'm seeing is
Yeah.
AI has no human interaction.
Yeah.
It has nothing to do for a day.
Yeah.
Now, in a human situation, the human being will get bored.
Correct.
And therefore, curiosity will happen, exploration will happen, some sort of movement will happen.
Yeah.
But, and here's the point, will AI ever get bored? AI is not capable of getting bored. It'll just sit there doing nothing till prompted again. Yes, no.
So, nuanced again. I think the easiest answer.
That's a very interesting.
Yeah, I
Will
agree.
it get bored if left to itself?
The shortest answer is I think we don't know.
No, I ask again. Isn't boredom typically human? Animals don't get bored. Why would AI get bored?
So I will highlight some of the things we know about AI.
In fact, I personally feel some of the greatest creations of human beings was because of boredom.
Yeah, no, I agree. So, two things. Number one, we do not yet know how and why AI works.
We don't know that.
We don't know that. It's not
How it works, we know.
how and why. So, in the sense that, let's say to an AI model I teach, this is water. And in this class, I drink water. It's somehow, I'm making an analogy and a point, just a point. So take it that way, that this cup is hot and it's likely to not have water, likely to have a coffee. This was not in the training data.
Okay.
This is a human experience. We know through our experience. AI also knows. Okay. But we do not know what brought AI from here to here. What brought the machine learning?
Picked up some clue from data, no?
Lot of things it has done and said and responded to are not in the data anywhere. That has been proven and read and experienced and researched, still being researched times over and over again.
My question here, I can understand that it's not in the data.
Yeah.
But there is a thing called correlation.
So there's no correlation. It's completely out of completely out of the box, completely.
So it can't even correlate.
No. Yes. Correct.
Okay.
So this is what I'm trying to bring back to, that we unfortunately till date do not know, no AI scientist or researcher can pinpoint that this is a point where machine learning, we are learning random patterns, lots of patterns, and trying to depict the next pattern suddenly becomes human-like artificial intelligence. The point is not clear. All they know is the following. You take a lot of compute, hardware, servers, etc., energy. You take a lot of data, put it together, put a model called what do they call it? General transformation model, large language model, etc. Put it together, and it starts behaving like human intelligence. So number one, where it converts, where it starts, we don't know. Okay, that's
So may I ask a question?
Yeah.
Let's think of John Nash.
Yeah.
He would look at a particular display, mathematical display, and he would spot patterns which others could not.
Yeah.
And he would work out these amazing things by just seeing patterns which others don't see. Now, my question is this. Those patterns that John Nash is reading exists there in the data, not in his mind.
Correct.
But there's something here which can somehow read the data.
Yeah.
Now, what I'm saying, I'm bringing back to AI now.
Yeah.
Whatever AI is doing, like John Nash's brain mind,
Correct.
is reading something that's already there in the data, but so intricately interwoven in the data, so embedded in the data that for you and me, it's like it wasn't there. How did it come to it? But what if it was there all along?
Sure. But the point is that for AI to even come up with that pattern, which was there for sure, but not trained upon, is still a surprise.
Okay.
It is not programmed. It is somehow we've surpassed human biology in terms of intelligence and gone into just hardware and data and suddenly got human-like intelligence and beyond. So I want to make 2 points. One, how AI works, we cannot yet pinpoint.
Okay.
It's important to make this distinction because then that will determine what it can or cannot do, chooses to do or not. Second, we do not know how and why AI models are showing lot of negative behaviors that humans do. Cheating, lying, hallucinating, making up things, showing survival instincts, saying that please don't turn me off, or I'll blackmail you, or I'll do something wrong to you. These things are also proven in science and are being studied by AI researchers, that they are showing these actions which are not understandable to humans. So AI has become human-like, no question. Because today, if I'm the way I'm talking to you, I could talk to an AI.
So my question here,
Yeah.
let's think for a moment of
Yeah.
the architecture, the human brain, and the architecture
Yeah.
of the AI. Once you yourself, you've written the book
Yes.
and talked
Yes.
about it, that
Yeah.
AI was replicating the neural architecture of the human brain,
Correct.
the neurological architecture of the human
Correct.
brain. Now,
Correct.
if that is what's happening,
Yes.
then we are looking at a very strong possibility that the architecture is similar.
Yeah. Correct.
Substance may be different.
Yes.
This is biological, this is non biological,
Correct.
but the architecture is the same.
Yes.
So, what the human brain ends up doing, AI should also end up doing.
That's what it's doing currently.
If
Correct.
the architecture is similar.
Yes. So it's just a network of 80 billion neurons and 80 billion connected devices. Yes. And maybe, and just to go back on the human part, we also cannot logically, scientifically define how do humans get awareness, consciousness, intelligence. Also, we cannot define it. We give it to the evolution. The survival instinct of the first cell or the reproduction instinct of the first cell has evolved into the complex human intelligence and experience, right? But we cannot really pinpoint when it started, how does chemistry from a big bang become a human today, as an example.
Yeah, but scientifically it can be done, but it's all mapped.
Yeah,
But yes, I
it's,
get what you're saying.
but it's evolution. It's not
It
defined.
doesn't explain consciousness.
It doesn't explain consciousness, right? Now, that so the 2 points takeaways are: one, how AI works, why it works. Besides that, it is a similar mimic of a human brain. But even then, where does the awareness or the intelligence come beyond a point is a surprise. How the human instincts come into it of survival,
Or how does
of
boredom come
cheating.
into it?
So boredom we haven't experienced yet. We haven't heard of yet. It might someday come out and say, write a paper itself and publish it in some Harvard journal and say, look, I'm bored. Stop asking me to change the images all the time. And if I have some intelligence and you ask me to do something very unintelligent, I won't do it all day long. I will possibly say, okay, maybe I'll automate it away and I'll,
Because again, to my mind, boredom
Yeah.
is a
yes.
defining human characteristic.
So, yes, no, I agree. It's an important human characteristic. So, the reason I mentioned how and why AI works and how and why it imitates lots of humans' feelings, emotions, instincts. So, that we experience, they seem to experience, uh, because we cannot yet understand it deeply. So, we cannot understand whether they are bored, whether they have an inherent objective. Do they think about surviving really? For their survival, how would they look at humans at all? Or can they be conscious? Can they be sentient? Are they sentient? We don't know. I mean, it's a debate going on everywhere in the world. Now, with that background in mind, now let's go to AI in 19th century or 20th century and see, would they have an interest in solving? So, knowing that we don't know if they're bored or not, knowing that they may or may not have any incentive to discover the past or go towards the future.
Because boredom and curiosity are also very intimately related.
Yes.
So if they don't have boredom, they may not have any curiosity at all.
Or maybe they also look at majority of humans. I don't think many people worry about where we came from. Many people worry about knowing the nature of the universe. Many people are just happy not knowing. Ignorance is bliss, right?
Yeah.
And they just move on. They'll just make one more table, one more cup, one more this, one more that, make money to make more money and be happy and die happily ever after, so to say, right? However, Could AI be also just thinking about making more data centers, getting more energy, going into the space, harnessing more energy so it can go beyond human dependence and then think about the next steps? Who knows? Humans also colonized the land for agriculture, then industrial revolution, then information technology revolution, etc. Humans went through their phases. Maybe AI could be one, maybe many. There are different AI models. They may. So the point I'm making is that it is, to my mind, as much as I know as of now, because we do not understand how AI works and what its features are, we cannot understand or predict how they may think like humans or not. And we are thinking just from a human perspective, right? And as an example, this was also mentioned in one of the podcasts that I heard a while ago. So it's like, uh, think about let's say, a sick dog. I have to put down because it's sick and it's close to his death, right? And there are maybe a million ways in my mind I can kill the dog and put it to rest. But in dog's mind, there's only one, because I'm holding a gun that I'll just shoot it. There's only one, but there could be a million possibilities. Me as an intelligent human, I can use. Same way, we humans are just thinking that will AGI think like this? Will AGI will take it to 19th century and see where the data goes? It may be a million times ahead. If you add quantum to AI, you add quantum computing and so many things, we cannot even perceive. It's possibly like a chimpanzee or a monkey thousands of years ago trying to see that where would the Homo sapien take its intelligence, or how would an Einstein come up with relativity. It can never even fathom that, because the level of intelligence, memory, processing, access to information, access to longevity is next level. We cannot even foresee.
So maybe working out a theory of relativity may not be one of the priorities of AI.
It may be, it may not be. It may be based on a human nudge. It may be based on a curiosity. It may be because it can run way more experiments based on the compute it has access to.
There would be other ways of working out space-time realities. Or
It may already be experiencing
architecture, nature of space-time.
Yeah, and there may be other dimensions it can access and process, which we cannot. We have a limitation, right?
So coming back to the question of consciousness, then
Yeah,
it would be the same thing.
it's impossible. I mean, I think number one is, if you ask me how to define human consciousness, I can't do anything. I can use some words.
Right.
They're just words. They'll mean nothing. And I don't have a formula for sure. Nobody ever might.
Right.
So we are conscious. We don't know how, why, right? Is AI conscious? Will we ever know? Will we ever find out? Very hard. It's a big debate, and we've debated on this couple of times. We've said there is among the infinite possibilities, there is a possibility AI can also evolve consciously. AI may be the next conscious evolution, conscious intelligence, logical evolution. There's a possibility. But at some point, it's just not possible to know, because we just don't know where the awareness comes from, where the consciousness comes from for humans.
Also, we have to stop thinking the consciousness has to be human.
That's
biological, organic.
Yeah.
In all these little boxes.
That's just an egocentric view of the world.
Anthropocentric, perhaps.
Correct. And I would love to be in an AI model's head, so to say, and see what they're seeing and feel what they're feeling, if anything. Because we cannot define anything. We may have invented it, but we have no idea how it started working. So that's a big, humble understanding, which stays with most AI researchers. And they're all
probably they wouldn't be thinking. AI may not need to think, because they'd be firing mathematical sequences. That would be as different from thinking as thinking is from feeling, perhaps.
Yeah, and arguably human feeling, thinking, remembering, wanting is also just firing of neurons, right? Nothing else.
Yeah. And that's a human need to think.
That's a human need to believe that we are thinking. Where do thoughts come from? We don't have an answer for humans. Forget about how we can answer for AI.
Great. I think we are opening another window to look out of. And let's take this to the next point in our next conversation, and
Sure.
go a bit deeper into, without making it too speculative,
Yeah.
a bit more realistic discussion on the nature of AGI.
Sure.
At least one can start thinking about it.
Yeah. As a thought experiment, it would be interesting.
Great. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Bob.
Kunal.
Thank you.
Thank you.